Hey everyone, I'm Mindy from Cute Girls Hairstyles, and today I'm going to show you how to do the bow braid. You guys are going to love this one. So I'm going to show you several variations of it, but this one that I'm going to do, this is what it will look like when it's finished. I'll flip her around so you can see. Ta-da! It's so fun. Okay, but to begin with, I have started by parting her hair down the middle as though you were going to do 2 French braids. And then, once I had her hair parted down the middle, I parted off about a 1/2 inch section of hair. Can you see that? On either side of her part. Now this one I've already done. Now you're going to use this hair to create the bows, which is why you have to part it off different. And then I went ahead and French braided her hair. So now I'm going to teach you how to do the bows. The one thing you are going to need is this, a hairpin. This is not a bobby pin, there's a difference. This is a bobby pin. This is a hairpin. Okay? So a bobby pin comes, like all collapsed in and looks like that, and you can open it up and stretch it out, but the curve at the top isn't as large as a hairpin, and the hairpin one works a lot better. So go get some hairpins, they're really cheap, and use the hairpin. And what you're going to do, turn just this way, you're going to take your hairpin and decide where you want the first bow to be. So I'm just going to thread it through right here. And then I'm going to pick up a little section of hair. And just for her hair, I'm going to wet it down. If you don't want to use water, use hairspray or pomade. Either one works fine. And what you're going to do, just make a little loop. Just like you're tying a shoelace. Okay, and then you're going to slip the loop through the hairpin. Can you see the loops through there now? Stick your finger through the loop so that you have a hold of it. And then gently tug the hairpin back through the hair. And while you're doing that, just kind of work it back and forth. And that's going to create the bow look. Now, depending on the length of your daughter's hair, and yes, this does work on all lengths. It may be long like hers is way long, so we're going to have little endies we're going to work into the next bow down. Or it may end up perfect, or you might have little shorties that you need to kind of tuck in. So pick up your next section of hair, again, wet it down. Take your hairpin. So you can, again, this is personal choice. You can go right to the next section of braid and stick your pin through and bow right there. I'm actually going to go down just a little bit and do like 1.5. So it's just a little bit farther spread apart. I'm going to take these ends and just kind of gently tug them in. Make my loop. The smaller the loop, the easier it's going to go through the hairpin. And then just kind of gently go back and forth again until you get that pulled where you want it. Take the hairpin out and you've formed your second little bow. And you go on down, so on and so forth. We're just going to keep going. So some tricks I learned by practicing. It is easier to do this hairdo if you've braided this tightly. If you do it loose, these end up not staying in tight, they stay in loose. And then they are more likely to fall out. So make sure when you do this that you do tight French braid. Okay? The other thing is make sure you get all the hair through the hairpin. Sorry. There you go. I'll show you what I mean right here. Oop, got a little loose hair. So we're going to continue down. Okay, so when I make my loop, just make sure you get all of that hair. Like you don't want to do that like halfway through. That makes a nightmare. So make sure you get all the way through and then give it a tug to form your next loop. So on and so forth. So you can do it as tight or as loose as you want. You can do it on short hair, you can do it on layered hair, hair with bangs, hair on yourself. Anything will work. Turn you back this way just a smidge. And tug it through. Okay, now it just depending on, sorry babe, there we go. Depending on how many bows you want, you can determine how far down you keep going. I've got hair for one more, it looks like. So I'm gonna go right through here. Again, wetting it down or pomade is gonna help, hairspray, any of those. Slide that through. Pull it back and forth. Just takes a sec to get that hairpin through. And then you can even just stick your finger in and tug it. And then what I'm gonna do, since I have little endies at the very bottom right here, I'm just gonna put those right into her braid, like so. Okay, so again, you have many choices here on how you wanna finish the braid. This one, I have just pancake braided the end. You could do that on this one as well, and just have 2 pancake braids at the bottom. But another fun idea would be to pull all of the hair to the side and do a side ponytail or a side braid. Would look really adorable. Okay, on my hair, I'll show you really fast. Finish this one. On my hair, you can see that I did a half of a headband braid and then did bows on the front, and I did that on myself. So yes, this hairdo is possible to do on your own hair. Next one, let me see, come here. Okay, this is a full headband, hair headband, and then we just did like 4 or 5 on the very far side. So we thought it almost looked like a feather headband. It was so cute and looks adorable. The possibilities are really endless for this hairdo. So you love this one. This one, I did like a Katniss braid type diagonal French braid on her hair, and then I did a bow through every loop instead of every other so that they look a little tighter. You can see that it has a really fun look to it. That one's a really fun one. Okay, and last but not least, this one is a wrap, like I wrapped a lace braid all the way around her head, and I left half of her hair down, which is why I did the lace braid version, so that we could still have hair down that I curled. And then we did bows on the top half and just braided the bottom half. So it looks really fun. You can see all the different variations of this super fun, come in, bow braid. Whoop, switch so they can see you. And how cute they are, and I'm sure that you will get a million compliments. Even just wearing this one today, I bet I had 30 people stop me and ask me, what did you do to your hair? So I'm sure you'll love it. We'll see you next time. You can find us on Facebook from the link on our channel. Bye!